apple cider vinegar. Why should a fancier use vinegar for his pigeons? Apple cider vinegar or just plain vinegar will acidify the contents in the crop and discourage the multiplication of trichomonas organisms. It will, however, not cure pigeons of trichomoniasis. Also, bacteria which do not like an acidic environment such as Salmonella, for example, are discouraged from multiplying in the crop. Acid-loving bacteria like the lactobacilli, on the other hand, will find this a hospitable environment and can continue on their way to the colon where they will find favorable conditions for growth and multiplication. I am certain that any acid such as vinegar cannot survive its journey into the colon. It can probably pass the stomach, but the very basic pancreatic juice emptying into the small intestine will most certainly neutralize it to allow the absorption of the resultant water and acetate. Although none of the vinegar ingested arrives in the large intestine, how it can possibly then result in the acidification of the colonic contents? The answer lies in its favoring lactobacilli to survive the journey to the colon at the expense of bacteria like Escherichia coli and Salmonella who like a more neutral or basic pH. These lactobacilli will consequently colonize the colon, and their metabolic products such as lactic acid are responsible for this observed increase in acidity. Apple cider vinegar helps acidify the contents of the gizzard, leading to better digestion, lower the blood pressure and cholesterol level, ameliorate muscle cramps, and decrease the concentration of Escherichia coli, Salmonella, and yeasts in the colon, and it will also disinfect the drinking water. It is advantageous to be somewhat skeptical in our world where so many salesmen and would-be salesmen try to take advantage of gullible people and separate them from their money. Any skeptic should make the following experiment. Give some of your pigeons apple cider vinegar for 3 weeks and treat the others as usual. You may find that the group receiving the vinegar has now softer feathers and more oil spots on their feathers than the other group. You are aware, I am sure, that soft plumage and oil spots are a sign of good condition which was contributed to the use of apple cider vinegar. You will also find them to take their exercise with more enthusiasm, attesting to their better condition. The following schedule was recommended in the flying season on the second and third day after a race. In the off-season, every day for 3 to 4 weeks. During molting, 3 to 4 days per week. If diarrhea, use for 5 to 7 days. The recommended dosage, from 5 milliliters to 15 milliliters vinegar per 1000 milliliters H2O, but this depends on the pH of the water. The more basic the water, the more vinegar will be required. A dosage of 15 milliliters vinegar per 1000 milliliters H2O can be used for giving them a bath, no other salts and powders being necessary, and this is said to effectively eliminate ectoparasites. It wasn't too many years ago that the droppings in some nests in my loft were excessively wet. I blamed the parents of those youngsters for feeding them too much water. Checking the crops of those youngsters revealed way too much water or not enough grain. I shouldn't have gotten angry at their parents. It would have been better to look into a mirror to find the one who was guilty of this state of affairs. The old ones were looking for salt and minerals. Since the source of these nutrients did not appeal to the old ones, they drank excessively. They tried to supply their youngsters with these nutrients, a tiny amount of which could be found in the water. Adding enough vinegar to the water will result in less water feeding. Also, as will many other substances which make the water almost non-potable. Birds won't drink too much of this stuff, but it would be much better to correct the deficiency than just treating the symptoms. Vinegar is just acetic acid which will be neutralized easily by the feed in the crop since it has no buffering capacity. Adding it to the drinking water results in the birds drinking less as they do not like this acidic taste. Less water will consequently be available for the body's response to a deficiency of salt or minerals or to intestinal irritation which would normally result in diarrhea. There will therefore be less diarrhea visible, and the fancier may fool himself into thinking that all is well. I found Bragg apple cider vinegar to be a better water additive for discouraging the spread of Salmonella, E. coli, Trichomonas, and yeast organisms. Not only do the birds like the water acidified by apple cider much better than water acidified by ordinary vinegar. Bragg apple cider vinegar contains enzymes and has a built-in buffering capacity, ensuring that the water remains acidic while in the crop. Once again, this is the BIRDMASTER. If you like this kind of information, please share, subscribe and leave a comment below. I will continue to provide insights and valuable information to help you succeed in pigeon racing. Remember, this infos may vary and it will always in the hand of the fancier. Apply those that you think will be beneficial to your loft. Thank you and stay tuned on my next videos.